We're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's Dave Boddy on behalf of Bodyguards United. I'm here with another edition of the Autopsy. My guest today is Edward James Hubbard. Did I say that correctly, Edward?
Yes, you did.
Cool. Good. I enjoy when I say names properly. Edward, you currently are running a Facebook group called Let's Stop Bullying, and it's going global. How's that going for you?
It's actually going really good. We're at 692 likes on it. We sit there and what we do is basically help kids out who's been getting bullied and everything. I send them to people like you, or I'll send them to people like Bud Collier or Chevy Daniels, you know, people that's actually been joining up with me to take this huge fight against bullying. And it just means so much to me that everybody actually sees how important this is and how important it is to really help our kids out. You know, I got people like Eli Simon, you Chevy Daniels, Bud Collier, Alicia Page Wilson, also got Susan Corwell right now. As you speak, we are writing a book about my life and letting the people know how I was treated and everything, and why it means so important to me. And so, I was raped when I was younger by a lady who was my mom's friend. I was also abused by my family, and also I was bullied in school really bad. And it just means a lot that I help a lot of people out as much as I can, Dave.
Do you think it's safe to say that you find yourself available to heal when you help others heal?
Yes. Every day that I sit there and talk about my story, or even sit there and help people out, it really does help me heal a lot. It wakes me up a lot of things this past few months that we've been doing everything. A lot of things has opened me up and seen a lot of things. Like when I talk to you, when I talk to Bud, you know, it really helps me out a lot. Even talking to Chevy, it helps me out.
So what you're saying is you have a pretty strong group to help you out and support you.
Yes, we have a awesome group that really does a lot of helping and supporting people and everything. And we actually have right now a gentleman. He is a 7-year-old boy, Dave Body, who you have talked to too. His name is Rashawn. He has a clip lip, and he's been getting bullied really bad in school. And the mother is trying to do everything she can do, and the school's not listening to her or anything. But we empower him. And the way we sit there and empower him is I actually had a shout-out on Let's Stop Bullying Together by a rapper because of Foogie Beats. And we had talked, and we got together and did a little shout-out for him. Then we sit there and a Meredith O'Connor did a shout out for him. Then this other person who Chevy knows did a shout out and did a music for him and everything. There's people showing Rashawn that, you know, we're here for him. I also had called WWE up and talk to them and sit there and send them a WWE stuff, because his favorite wrestler is John Cena of all persons, who is the best role model ever. And they sit there and send him packages of John Cena stuff, Never Give Up or anything, autographed by the WWE wrestlers and everything, and it meant a lot to him. He was very, very happy about that, and it boosted his spirit up a little bit.
That's really good.
Yeah, see, you know, we send, like, right away, if I don't think I could do it or anything, or think that I might not give the right advice, I'll send somebody right to you. and you know that, and or I'll send it to Bud, or I'll send it to Chevy and ask Chevy, hey, what's up? What do you think we ought to do? And that's when he says either send it to you or Penny Jan or Fugo Beats or Bud Collier or Eli Simon or Bishop or somebody to see how we could help these people out. And we really work hard to get it done and stuff, and it's doing really good. Um, we actually helped out Cassie Journey. We helped out Alania, who's a girl that you had saw the report where she got her hair pulled out by bullies. She's actually on doctor shows. So what I did is I gave an advice to sit there and call the governor to help out. And she called the governor's office. I talked to the governor's office already, and they had sit there and directed her in the right page and everything. Also, I help out Ada's Army, and I talk to the grandmother a lot, and I talk to their friend a lot to help them out and everything, give them the advice that I can. And like I said, if I can't get the advice, I give it to you or give it to Bud Collier. Bud and a few other people are professional, and if I don't think I could do it the right way or anything, I'm sending them right to you or right to Bud Collier for Amble or to the Bodyguard United, you know. And just,
All right. It seems like you're having some technical issues on your phone there. Is everything okay over there? I could. I can hear you just fine. We lost the video feed.
All right, can you?
But that's okay. We'll just carry on as long as I have you. Okay. I can hear you. Just the video itself is very glitchy and jumpy. However, as long as we can hear you, it's okay. Hmm. Are you still there, Edward?
Oh, okay.
All right. It seems like we may have lost Edward for a short little time being here. As you heard, Edward says that he's doing a lot of work with Let's Stop Bullying Together Worldwide, which is his Facebook group, which has over, I believe he said 600 and some likes. I have been doing a lot of work with myself with Edward, as well as Chevy Daniels and Bud Collier. Together, basically, we've joined this force where we unite. Are you back?
yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
For some reason, Google Count wants to act up once in a while where I'm at.
Not a problem. So, Edward, you said you were bullied quite often. Could you maybe explain the situations that you feel comfortable with explaining?
Yeah, I'll give you for an example. I was sit at home one day, and two boys literally came down to my house. One came with a ball bat, and another boy came down, and they were knocking on the door. And my dad's like, Eddie, somebody's out there. They want to talk to you. They're literally going to use a ball bat on me. They sat there and took a swing at me with the ball bat, and I turned around and I fought back and ended up actually busting the dude's tooth out. And I didn't mean to or anything. I felt bad because I fought back because of the way my family really got on my case. I was literally beaten if I would fight back or anything. My mom would sit there and pull my hair slam it up against my head up against the door, or take a breadboard to my behind. And she did not believe in fighting back or anything. So I started letting the kids beat me up. I even had a good job when I was young. At the state, a boy was picking on me and throwing stuff at me, and I turned around, and Dave, I couldn't take it no more. I ended up fighting him and everything. I walked off the bus. I walked home. I got yelled at because I quit my summer youth program job, and I told him, I was like, I'm not getting picked on no more. I told my mom that, and I said, I'm tired of people bullying me and nothing being done about it. And she said, suck it up, boy. And I was like, whatever. And I told my dad, and my dad said he's fine with it. He understands. And so I basically myself as much as I could. Like when I got off the bus, me and my own best friend, Dave Body, end up getting into a huge fight. And we end up being in the mud. And I was like, wow, my own best friend fighting on with me because people getting them turned on me. Totally wrong. I was getting dog biscuits thrown at me on the bus. I was getting slapped in the back of the head. I would sit there and go play football. And when I got hit real hard, I went down to the ground. As I got bullied even at work, quit, and not stay there. It's so important to
It seems like we're having issues still, Edward. I don't know if it's your mobile that you're using or if it's the internet connection or what it is. However, you're very glitchy and we haven't heard anything that you said in the last 15, maybe 20 seconds. I don't know if you heard me say that or what, so let's just go with it from there. So as you can hear, Edward's been through a lot with his mother and how his mother supported him being bullied, which I quite frankly don't understand. It seems like his father was somewhat more supportive in helping him with the bullying. I personally couldn't imagine my own parental figure bashing my head against the wall or pulling my hair and telling me to suck it up and allowing individuals to bully me. I just don't understand the psychology to that at all. You also hear Edward mention in the beginning that he was sexually assaulted by a friend of the family when he was younger as well, which I can understand has probably affected Edward psychologically and emotionally for quite some time. With that being said, Edward does have a quite intense and very dark story. However, his work that he's doing right now with youth, and like he said, he sends a lot to me, which is true. Between him and Chevy, I'm getting sent youth sometimes daily to mentor and to coach, which I greatly appreciate. And I completely support that 100%. Oh, it sounds like Edward might be coming back. Hey, Edward. Are you there, Edward? It's funny how technology works sometimes. Sometimes it can be very consistent, and sometimes it can be very inconsistent. However, I've known Edward for a couple months now, and I've befriended him. I've been there for advice through numerous situations he's been going through, as well as Chevy Daniels, who will be a future guest as well in the autopsy. Amongst the, I guess I'm going to say, at least 9 of us, 10 of us, we collaborate with one another, and it seems as if Bud Collier has also now joined the group quite often as well. So technically we have a huge group of individuals that inspire to help youth, and it's terrible that Edward's going through all these issues and technical difficulties because the story is pretty intense. But what I can do is I can share the parts of the stories that I do know. Like I said, he was sexually assaulted. His mother was very abusive and aggressive towards him. His father later on, I believe, expressed how he didn't like him or didn't love him on his deathbed or something like that. I kind of wish Edward was here to explain it to himself. However, I'll just carry it on. I have had over several youth sent to me from Edward. The amount of work that Edward is doing for these youth is incredible. He's very consistent online. He's very persistent on the task at hand. He helps the youth as much as he can, and I'm very happy to be partnered up with him and Chevy because, like I said, I've been allowed to speak and coach and mentor youth greatly due to their friendship, because they find these individuals online when I'm so busy with Bodyguards United stuff and paperwork and videos that I just don't have the time as much as I want to go searching for all these youths. However, due to him and Chevy, I've been given the opportunity to help out dozens of youths and several of families. And because of Chevy and Edward, I'm actually mentoring 2 youths that they've brought to me and their families, and I'm very appreciative of that because that's generally what I try to do, and that's what brought myself, Chevy, and Edward close, is we all have the same mindset, the same drive, the same focus to go out there and find the youth via social networks, because quite frankly, cyberbullying is slowly and sadly inclining. It's slowly and sadly increasing, and the events are getting more serious with death threats and constant new methods of cyberbullying. For example, Edward was a victim of cyberbullying himself with a former friend of his on his Facebook account. When Edward blocked him or unfriended him, if you will, apparently the friend started a online Facebook status poll that questioned, how do you feel that Edward is no longer your friend? Which allowed Edward to be a victim of having people put in their answers of, oh, it doesn't matter, or oh, he's no one, or oh, I don't miss him, or oh, I do miss him. However, obviously the oh, I do miss him was sarcastic, and that was the intent for that. Edward came to me personally quite a while ago about this, and I gave the best advice that I could. When it comes to cyberbullying, it's a very serious situation. However, at the same time, it's a situation that you can deal with. It's a situation that you can build evidence with. It's a situation that you can have results in. So the advice I gave Edward is to make sure he copy and paste everything, screenshot whatever he can, get all the information about the individual as you can. Try to locate the IP address, which you can do if you get assistance legally and with legal authorities, as well as your provider for internet. I told him that cyberbullying is becoming a plague. It's becoming a serious situation that most people are finding themselves vulnerable to, and the reason for that is it's unanimous. People feel, even though their name is public, even though that their name is clearly shown, they have this feeling that they're cloaked. They have this feeling that they're hidden. They have this feeling that they're not going to get caught. But what they fail to realize is a simple reality of your name is there, your IP address is there. You can be found if you do cyberbullying. You can be approached. You can be legally dealt with. And I told Edward that as long as the bully is conducting the act of bullying online, you can catch them. I'm not saying that you should encourage their actions to keep going forward. I'm just saying that if they do keep going forward, you just have more evidence to build and more evidence to build. And most of the time, cyberbullying is also known as what's called trolling. And what that is when people just go online and they purposely just harass and bug people, and they get a kick out of it. Trolling has started to become more than just a simple joke here and there. It's now, whenever someone posts a video or a status, they'll immediately attack it and judge them. And You have the option to block them. However, I've noticed in some cases of people I've talked to and I've mentored that once you block a user, what they usually do is they continue the bullying via statuses, or quite frankly, recently they'll actually just make a brand new account using your name as for example, an anti-Edward group or anti-Dave Body group or something to propel the cyberbullying forward. Not realizing they're just basically making themselves more exposed and making themselves more vulnerable to being dealt with legally. Another issue that we found with cyberbullying, and I told Edward this myself, is criminal intent. When you take someone to court, that's the #1 mission you have, is to prove criminal intent. You can have all the evidence that you want, but if you cannot prove that the individual had criminal intent to cause harm on you emotionally or mentally, more often than not, the cases just get thrown out. And that's the problem I told Edward with the legal system is the legal system has been shown to be more benefiting and more focused on the suspect than it is the victim, because the suspect has to be proven how they are guilty, but yet the victim has to sit there and just watch, potentially seeing the suspect get off with a slap on the wrist or a warning or what have you. And I told Edward that the moment that we figure out the gray area, the gray area of the law, and we can figure out the loopholes, is where we can better have increased positive stats and then have a decrease in the negative. What I mean by that, the positive is more convictions, more results that benefit family and give them closure, as opposed to negatives as a consistent not guilty or here's a warning, so forth. And that's the problem with bullying as well as in a whole, is it's hard to distinguish how serious it is. It's hard to distinguish to what level it is. It's hard to distinguish guilty or not guilty, and that's why I feel most of these situations are reported or ignored, because there's so much investigation involved. They're scared of false reports and waste of time. But then again, most youths are scared to report for the simple fact that nothing gets done. They're scared for the simple fact that if they do report, the bullying could just potentially increase to become more serious because of being a air quote snitch or being an air quote tattletale. And I also told Edward that that's another thing that I've been studying and researching for the last 3 years, is the legal system and how to find the loopholes and how to understand exactly how to approach when you want to take the situation legally, if you want to take it to the court or take it to the police. And amongst my discussions with numerous youth and families, currently I'm speaking to four individuals who have taken their stories public because the schools have ignored them, because the government officials have ignored them, because the police have ignored them due to lack of evidence. And that's the most important part about helping out bullying, is to have evidence. If you witness it, step forward, speak up, share it to the principal, to your teacher. If we can't break the barriers of the law, we're not going to stop bullying. It's just that simple. The law is preventing us to move forward. So what we got to do is figure out a way to bring the attention to the bullying and then go from there. Are you there, Edward? We cannot hear you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. With that being said, while Edward figures that out, I'll just carry on now. People around the world are being affected daily, hourly, weekly, yearly, monthly, by the minute, being through bullying. However, they're finding that they can't do much due to legal restraints. Ironically, the victim's hands are handcuffed. They're tied behind their back, and they don't know how to move forward. Edward, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's just focus on that. The video
Okay.
is in and out, so let's just make it audio for now.
Okay, that's fine.
Because that way you can at least give your story consistently and not be interrupted. Because the audio is fine. You sound perfect, so...
Okay. All right. Sorry about everything,
No
Dave.
problem.
Just it's been weather issues up here and everything. As I was telling you, and as you were talking about the cyberbullying, and yes, they did make another me. And the time that they had made another me is when my mother was passing away, and they were really taunting me bad. In fact, me and my little brother was getting into it, and he's like, "How do I know you're not the one doing it and everything just to sit there and get attention?" I said, "I'm not doing it." I said, "They're doing it to hurt me." And that caused a lot of family feud
Yeah.
about it and stuff like that. And, I didn't know if it was my little brother doing it. I didn't know if it was my older brother or my sister doing it or anything. It was just really they were really taunting me and doing it really bad. And then it finally stopped after they heard my mother had passed away. And also after I had blocked them and everything, I don't know, if they do anymore or anything. I don't care if they do or anything, as long as it's not bothering me or anything, or I see it, it's not hurting me. So I just don't really care. Um, my goal is to help out people, and the reason why it's so important for me, Dave, is because I tried to kill myself at the West Virginia Rehabilitation Center. It's for handicapped people that need to learn how to work and all that, which I had a little problem with. And my parents had said, okay, it's cool to go down there and everything. It was my father's idea, so I went down there, and I ended up breaking up with this girl, and I got harassed because we were joking around before we broke up, and I smacked her on the butt, and didn't mean to or anything, but I guess I left a little mark, and she knew I didn't mean to or anything, and some guy went around and was telling everybody that I beat her and everything, and I didn't. And so, all them kids were basically harassing me, and what I did was I took a belt around my neck and put it up against the bed. And when I did that, a good friend of mine, a best friend now, David Bojeski, ended up coming and checking on me, ended up breaking the door down, and Irvin Fleming ended up doing CPR on me. I felt at the time, Dave, where I had been raped and abused and everything, that I didn't have nobody at all. And it just was like, I just say, I'm done. And when my best friend now came to my saving of my life, is like, wow, I do actually have some people. Now, where me and my mother never got along, my father drove 4.5 hours down to the hospital. My mother never came at all. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I've tried over the years, and she's always stuck up for my little baby brother who has a bad heart and who also has a clipped lip. She's stuck up for my brother, DJ, all the time. Uh, she also stuck up for my sister, Nicole, and never stuck up for me at all. And it just really hurted me. And I was like, why? And then I found out that she had the baby blues, and she was taking a lot of anger out on me. The reason why my mom had a baby blues is because of the fact that she ended up giving up a kid, and it was around my age. I've never seen him nothing or anything like that because of her putting him up for adoption. And then she took a lot of things out on me because of her anger that she was going through and everything, after giving up a kid and dealing with her family and stuff like that because they didn't like my father or anything. They would sit there and both say that my father was abusive towards my mother and stuff like that. But as I was growing up, my mother was being very abusive to my father. Like, she'd literally punch him and everything, and my father wouldn't hit back or anything. I literally, one time, when I was coming home from a baseball game, this kid had hit me with the ball, and I ended up going home after the ball game, quit the ball game, and went to the house, and my mom was slapping the hell out of my dad, and I got in the middle of it, and I said, "Stop it, please stop." And my mom slapped the hell out of me and grabbed my hair and slammed me up against the couch, then slammed me up against the wall, and stuff like that. And then when me and my brothers and sisters would get in an argument, I'd be getting yelled at by my mother and father, because my mom would yell at my dad and tell my dad to do something about it, or I'm going to do something about it. My dad would smack me in the mouth, and I'd be like, "I didn't do nothing. I didn't start it." And it just made me like, wow. My dad's one dream was for me to graduate from high school. I didn't want to finish high school, Dave. I'd be honest with you. But if I didn't have a principal that really helped and really showed that he really did care, I called him at home once in a while and talked to him. He showed me that he cared about me and stuff, and was wondering what was going on with me, because of getting abused, getting raped, getting abused, getting bullied in school, and wondering why I was really starting to act out as bad as I was. And in fact, he sit there and made it to the point that I had internal suspension, which was in the office, and to make sure that I didn't go home or anything like that. So I'd be doing schoolwork in there. As I did schoolwork there, I loved it. I wasn't getting messed with. I wasn't getting picked on or anything and stuff. I had to find a reason to go get in the office and stuff like that, just so I wouldn't get bullied or anything or picked on. When I was a freshman, they sit there, and one kid said, "Get down on your hands and do push-ups, boy." And I said, "No." And he said, "Now." So I ended up doing them, and he was going to kick my hands from my feet, but a football player seen him doing it, and he said, he slammed him up against the wall and said, "Leave him alone," and everything. I actually had a couple senior football players actually sticking up for me and stuff, and it stopped as it was starting to stop and everything a little bit. But whenever I went home, I was still having people throwing stuff at me on the bus, still coming at me and everything. I was fighting. It got so bad for me that I was even fighting an adult. That's how bad it got.
You're fighting an adult?
Yeah, I ended up fighting an adult. I ended up fighting a 45-year-old guy and stuff, because he was coming to attack me with his son.
Wow.
So, yeah, and it was like when I fought this boy, his whole family would be coming and trying to get involved in everything. So I almost beat him in the fight. Actually, I can't say I almost beat him, because nobody ever wins a fight. It's not a win situation. Everybody ends up getting hurt. But I end up almost winning. Then I turn around and see his father getting ready to get involved, and I sit there and I just gave up. I was like, I'm not going to get more beaten by more people or getting hands put on or anything like that. And I was like, I'm done. And when I got raped, one of my dad's friends sat there and asked me and said, "Hey, how did it feel? It was a lady and everything. You shouldn't be ashamed of it or anything." And he's like, "How did it feel?" I was like, "Dude, I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone." And my goal was I wanted to become a cop. I was doing good before I got raped. I always made my bed. I always sit there, did the dishes, did my chores, didn't bother nobody. Then after I got raped, I ended up acting out really bad and everything, and was really aggravated and hurt, because the lady sit there and told me that if I didn't do anything, or if I didn't have sex with her, she's going to have her two nephews after me and beat the hell out of me and stuff. After I told my father about it, my father has told my mother about it, and they sit there and called the law on it and everything. Then after like a few months or so, I believe, they found out that not only did she rape me, but she raped her two kids too, on top of it. and stuff. And then the cop, my mom asked the cop why did it take it so long for me to say anything. And the cop sat there and said that's what happens with a victim. When they're a victim and it ends up being at the age that he is, and they end up saying something about it. And when I sit there and was talking and stuff like that, when I was sitting there talking and everything and told everybody everything, I was getting bullied over that real bad. My brother would throw up face to me that, your ass got raped, you fat ass, and stuff. And my sister would do the same thing. And it was just... It was just a non-constant thing, Dave, and stuff. It was rude and ignorant and everything, how they treated me and stuff. My sister would sit there, and I would be in my yard and not doing anything. She come after me wanting to fight me, and I don't want to fight girls or anything. And she punched me in the face, and I walked away, and she sit there and told everybody that she whipped my ass and everything. And I looked at her and I said, if you want to know the truth, Nikki, it takes a better person to walk away from a fight. And if I sit there and really put a hand on you, I would have really hurt you, and I don't want to hurt you or anything. And she goes, yeah, right, whatever. I would you. And my dad said, no, he did the right thing, Nikki. Leave him alone. Now, when my dad would get drunk, he would sit there and put his hands on me by hitting me with a fist right across the jaw. Or he'd sit there and hit me with the belt. And one year, he had challenged me to a fight, and I told him I didn't want to fight him. So I was outside, and what he did is he took a swing at me. And when he took the swing at me, I sit there and blocked it. And he ended up having a heat stroke. My mom went around and told everybody that I hit him and stuff. And my dad told her, no, I didn't. But she went and told everybody this, and my brothers got mad and sit there and jumped me over that and everything. And I said, I didn't even touch them or anything and stuff. When I was like, wow. And then with the schools, while I'm going through all this and going to schools, I'm still getting called retard, special ed, welfare champ, fat ass, dumb ass, and everything else. And it was an ongoing thing. And it just wasn't fair. And it really hurt me and stuff. But now, since I've been talking to you, talking to Bud Collier, who made me also director of mbullyfree.org for the news media, I've been doing really good. And also, if it wasn't for one person in my life right now that's really helped me through a lot of things, Dave, I'd probably not be even around or anything and doing what I've been doing. My fiance, Sabrina Saunders, have helped me and realized a lot of things. And so did her mother. Her whole family helped me. And it was like, okay, I don't understand a lot of things. I didn't understand the family life, Dave. I really didn't. And she showed me how family should be and everything. And so did her mom. So did her brother. So did her two sisters and everything. And it was like, wow. And her niece and nephews, they're the greatest kids, and I love them to death, and I'd do anything for them. And they've helped me out so much and everything, and realized a lot for me. And I used to want to fight people back. I used to want to defend one way or another in the wrong way by helping others out and everything. I was bullied cyber so bad that they even spelled my name totally wrong. But I have a suspicious who did it, and I can't say they did it or who did it or anything like that. They added all my friends on Facebook, Dave, and stuff. When they added all my friends on Facebook, one of my friends inboxed me and was like, "Hey, there's another Edward Hubbard, and he's really attacking you and stuff." And I was like, "Wow!" And I found out who, I seen it and I blocked it. I reported it. All my friends reported it. Then I had a regular Facebook page called Let's Stop Bullying, and then they sit there and attacked it and everything. And then I put Let's Stop Bullying together, and they basically left me alone as they got the hint, hey, I'm not going to deal with your guys no more. I'm just ignoring it and everything. Sabrina helped me come up with the idea, Let's Stop Bullying Together. And then I came up with the idea of Let's Stop Bullying Together. Let's get all these organizations and nonprofit organizations get together and take this huge fight against cyberbullying, regular bullying, adult bullying. It don't matter. Let's all join up together and help these people out. I do a talk show with Chevy Daniels called the Chevy Daniels and Ed Show. And we talk to people, a lot of people, and let them get out their stories. We also send them to people like you that help us out and everything, or to people like Bud Collier, or to people like Deanna Cavalier, or people like Eli Simon, or people like Haley Smith, or Deanna Bowe. We send them to everybody to let everybody help out. And what's so important to me, Sean Benfeld, and my fiance is that people sit there and start posting their stories and Let's Stop Bullying Together and show the government, hey, we're having enough of the bullying. The kids don't deserve to end their lives or anything or go through this depression and stuff. You know what I'm saying, Dave?
Oh yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and I met you. I met you through Chevy from the show because I was always I would co-host or be in a special appearance on his show, and I believe that's where we met.
Yeah, that's how we met, and I met Chevy. I met Chevy just reading his stories and everything and listening to his stuff, and next thing you know, this is wham. We, co-host and everything, and wham, we're doing the radio show together and everything. We're helping each other out with our problems and everything, because he's also been bullied by his ex-co-host and everything, and I've been helping him out on that and everything, and, we've been working together as a team, and it's just been amazing, Dave, how everything's been working, and we just hoping that it keeps on working really good. And like I said, if one person in my life did not help me change or anything, and the way she has helped me, I probably wouldn't be here or anything. I've lived on...
Sorry, what was that, Edward? Okay. I guess it seems as if Edward has been kicked off again. As you heard, his story is pretty intense. When I first met Edward on the Chevy Daniels show, I was immediately blown away by the experiences that he was going through and how his family was very unsupportive. And it made me realize that blood families can also be an enemy to some people. And that's why it's always important to share your story and speak out what you've been through, because you might inspire others. You might have others who went through it as well.
Can you hear me now, Dave?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. But like I said, Dave, this just means a lot to me. It really does. It it tears me up when I see the kids get bullied and hurt. And Rashawn has a clipped lip like my little brother does. And when my little brother had the clipped lip and a bad heart, the kids bullied him, and I would defend him. Seeing the stuff that Rashawn is going through brings memories to me as my little brother got picked on a lot about his clip lip, and we would defend my little brother. I would organize a bunch of my friends to make sure that my little brother is protected and nobody bullied him or anything. My little brother took as much as he could, Dave, and ended up quitting school. My little brother is now on. My little brother now is on drugs, and he drinks a lot. He has a bad heart, and he don't realize what kind of damage it can do to him. I quit talking to him. I told him, I said, I can't help you anymore or anything until you actually quit the drugs and quit the alcohol. And I said to him, I said, I love you. I forgive you for everything you've done to me. I'll always be there for you. But right now, I just got to focus on my life. I can't be there for you or anything. Because you got to realize you are an adult, you are a man now. You're going to end up suffering consequences for what you're doing. They did $27,000 worth of damage to my mother and father's house. For copper and water, they sit there and stole all the copper. They busted out all the windows. They sit there and busted up the floors and everything. And they took out all the TVs and everything. They did this for drug money, Dave. All that for drug money. And when they did that, it tore me up. Because I told my uncle, I said, if you would have let me live there, that house would have been fine. Nothing would have been wrong with it. The bills would have been paid. The house would have been taken care of. And instead, you let my brothers and sisters live there. And he wanted to sell the house and everything. I told him, why are you going to sell the house? He told me he didn't give me like $200 after he sold the house. And I said, whatever. I don't want to deal with it no more. It's not my responsibility to fix it up. You guys do whatever you want to do. And when I told him that, he got mad and quit talking to me and stuff. He don't talk to me at all or anything. And that's fine to me. My grandfather and my other, which is on my mom's side, totally quit talking to me. Because they sit there and said that we need to get along and all that, quit fighting. You can't force somebody to get along when they're doing drugs and alcohol and stuff. Yeah, they might be your family, you wish the best for them and everything, but you can't sit there and wish help them or something like that if they're not going to change. It's best to walk away and do your own life and worry about you instead of worrying about them every day and not get no sleep or anything over it. I literally was not sleeping or anything. I was so worried about my brothers and sisters because of the stuff they were going through. My sister got arrested. She's so proud of being arrested and stuff over fighting. And I seen it on Google, and I was like, wow, really? She got arrested? And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I got arrested at the age 18. When I got arrested at the age 18, I was scared to death of even going to jail. What happened was my brother pulled a knife on my father. When he pulled a knife on my father, I defended my father. I beat him up. My mother was making sure I was going to jail instead of my brother. I sit there and I looked at her and I said, why are you going to do that when my brother tried to kill my father with a knife? He was drunk and high. He didn't know what he was doing. And my dad told the cop the same thing. He tried to kill me with a knife. And the cop said, you want to press charges? He just put him in jail. So he arrested both of us. Then my mother ended up calling my grandfather. My grandfather bailed me out of jail. I paid him back. Then I told him I will never go to jail again. And I made that promise. And I never been in jail again. What hurts is a lot of people don't understand is what goes on between people's lives or behind closed doors, Dave. You know, they sit there and see this person different, they're going to go pick on them. They see them not they're regular, they're going to pick on them. Why sit there and pick on them? You know what I'm saying? Why sit there and go and pick on somebody when you could help somebody? Wouldn't you feel better to help somebody instead of being ignorant by hurting somebody's feelings to the point they want to end their life? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Why do people sit there and want to hurt other people so bad? Can't they wake up and smell the coffee? Our kids are hurting themselves. We're here to help them. You're there to help them. Bud is here to help them. Haley, everybody's here to help our kids because they're getting bullied so bad. Why can't these school systems wake up and understand that we are here for the kids and we could help the teachers out, realize how serious the stuff can get? If they would wake up and smell the coffee or smell the roses and understand that our kids are killing themselves over these bullies, maybe something could be done over it. In fact, we are doing something over it. You're doing something about it. Bud's doing something about it. Shavy's doing something about it. I've been doing something about it. Eli Simon's doing something about it. Haley Smith, Ayla's Army, we're all doing something about it. But why ain't the school system listening to us or letting us want to come into the school systems and talking about it to the kids, to help the kids? Is it that they don't care or what? How do we wake up the school systems? How do we wake up the public to sit there and see that this is a serious matter? Kara Taylor wrote a song for her best friend because of her cutting her wrist. Meredith O'Connor sits there and sings songs to everybody at schools. These are the greatest people around that really do something about it. And some people got to understand, enough is enough. We are here to help each other. But the school system needs to let us come in and help the school out. They don't have enough teachers, they complain. They don't have enough. They don't have anything they can do. They can't see something. Dave, one of my friends' daughter was bullied really bad. She went up to the school teacher. You know what the school teacher sit there and said to her? You ready to hear this, Dave?
I'm ready.
The school teacher sit there and said that you're not my student, go find your teacher. I was like, wow, really? She's a teacher. They're there supposed to protect the kids. They're supposed to be able to help the kids. Why are you going to send her to another teacher when she came to you? And you could have went to go see what the problem it was. You see what I'm saying? And it's just amazing how some of these teachers, don't get me wrong, it's not all the teachers. There are a lot of good teachers out there, but some of these other ones that just don't want to do anything about the bullying. And that ain't fair. That ain't fair to the kids that are suffering the pain and neglect. Then it has to take the students, parents, to go clear to the law or go to the lawyers and end up suing. And what's going to happen is while these students go to the law, they're going to sue and everything. What's going to happen to the schools, they're going to get so much lawsuits on them that there won't be no more schools. And we're here to prevent that. We're here to help them on this. They got to realize that we're not here to hurt them. We're here to help them. But if it takes it to the point that the kids going to kill themselves because nobody listened, nobody wanted to do anything about it, you bet your ass I will make sure that it gets reported one way or another. You bet your ass I will make sure something happens and stuff, one way or another. I am tired. Dave, did you know 400 kids a day has been dying over bullying? 400 a day, Dave. You know, that's ridiculous. Why do 400 kids have to die a day over bullying? There's at least once a day around here in the area that you see a kid getting bullied on the news. Everywhere in the United States you see that a kid gets bullied. Out of the United States you see a kid get bullied or take their lives. Why do we have to sit back and not do a thing? We don't. This is America. We can speak up. We can stick up for the kids. We got that right. We're supposed to be protecting our kids and not hurting our kids. Our kids are our future. And people got to realize that and wake up and get off their butts and stick up for these people instead of hurting. Wow, I just about ran out of everything, Dave.
It's all good. We both shared the exact same mindset and the same drive and the same focus. And it's like I've always said that I've always given you legal advice. I've always given you the areas of the law and why lawyers say they can't get involved and why police. I'm not excusing their behavior. I'm just letting you know the information so that way we can find a loophole to break that barrier, because unfortunately schools are run by a system that is supported by funds and government policies and etc. But I've always been a firm believer that it shouldn't matter what the law is, it should matter what the facts are. And the fact of the matter is that over 170,000 kids per day worldwide don't go to school because of fear of being bullied. The stats are there. The information is there and the facts are there, but yet we're always giving plastic smiles, we're always giving lies, we're giving false promises, we're giving just straightforward BS. But we're never given information to help. We're just giving information to why they can't, and after a while it gets very monotonous and annoying. And like I said, my best friend committed suicide in 2004 because of bullying. I was suicidal in grade 9. 2006 and 2011, so I completely understand how it feels to lose someone due to bullying, as do yourself.
Yeah, you know, when you see a lot of your friends end their life because of them being bullied or because of them being picked on, you start thinking, what can you do? How can you start getting attention and everything? Dave, I sit there and called CNN News. I called every news around trying to let them know what we're doing. You know, they're acting like, oh, well, they're not wanting to hear our voices or anything. But as soon as a kid gets bullied, they put that on the news. But they don't want to put out the organizations or anybody out there like you, like InBullyFree.org, like Hayla Smith's group page, or anybody out there that's trying to help the kids. But as soon as somebody gets bullied, they'll put it out there. But they don't want to put out the good people that helping the kids out or anything. And how fair is that to us? We're trying to show everybody in the United States that we're all working together and putting a fight against this bullying. But news media don't want to listen. It seems like the government don't want to listen or anything like that. That ain't fair to us or anything. But one thing I am grateful, every kid that we talk to, we're saving their lives. That's one thing I am grateful. Every kid that you talk to, you're saving their lives. Every kid that Bud Collier talks to, he's saving their lives. Every kid that Chevy Daniels talks to, he's saving their lives. Every kid Sean Banfield talks to, he's saving their lives.
Everybody talks to every kid every day. They're saving their lives. It don't matter if we're on news media. It don't matter if we're on Facebook. We're saving a kid's life each and every day. It don't matter if we're not on Facebook or anything, or we're on a radio show. We're still helping a kid out one way or another. And that's what means a lot to me. That's why it's so important to me that we get all these organizations out there and join up together and help each other out and show them that we could help each other out and show them that we could help the kids and help the adults out too. Because you got to remember, Dave, it's not only the kids that are going through the problems. It's the parents now that are going through the problems, that are trying to stick up for their kids and everything in a school system where nobody wants to listen to them at all. They want to sit there and ignore the parents and everything. But as soon as the parent wants to sit there and slap it on the internet or wants to sit there and slap the lawsuit, they want to work something out and do something about it. That's the wrong point they are given. A parent had sit there and posted something on your wall with two little kids and everything about them getting bullied. Did you know, through my resources, that I got the info and everything, did you know that mother got a gag order on her that she cannot talk about it anymore after that video went viral? And within a few hours, not even a few hours, within 15 minutes, that video went viral and stuff. After that video went viral and the school system got involved, they sit there and said, hey, everything's taken care of, take down the video and everything like that. My reply was, why sit there and take down the video and everything? Why can't we, the people, know which school's not doing anything or which school needs help and everything? They don't want that or anything. They gagged ordered the mother right away.
Yeah, I was talking to the mother for her. She contacted me, and I was mentoring her and the kids, and she told me that they were gag ordered, and I immediately sent an email out as well. I helped it go viral because social media is the way to go right now. It's the best way to get quick results because you're calling them out personally and blatantly, and they don't like that. But at the same time, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we as people get tired of everything, and we get tired of seeing our kids getting hurt, and that's when we come around and be like, bam, we're going to do something one way or another to help out our kids. You did an excellent job. As soon as that was posted, I looked at that. I sent that to every group that I could think about that helps out. Then I send it out to everybody else on different websites and everything. I shot it everywhere that I could think of and stuff, just to get out that word and stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that I'll keep on doing. As every time I see a bully action or anything, I'll copy and paste and put it in every group that I could think of to help out that kid and everything that needs help. Or I'll do whatever I can to make sure somebody's getting the help. I'll send them to you. I'll send it to Bud Collier. I'll send them to Chevy. I'll send it to Haley Smith. I'll send them to somebody to make sure they get that help that they need. So that's guaranteed on that. And Dave, I will say one thing. You do a great job. You do good on is giving a lot of advice and everything. You do a good job on a lot of things, and I'm glad to be partners with you on this and helping out and everything. And it's a great honor in working with you. It really is.
I really appreciate that. When I talk to people, there's three things I focus on greatly. That's honesty, being blunt, being driven, and I'm always very blunt. If someone asks me a question, I'll tell them the exact truth, and I'll explain to them why it's unbeneficial to go that route or so forth. And the reason why I've grown to be that sort of person is there's so much lies and so much deceivement and so much hidden material throughout the world. Like I found out recently that the school system in the States, for every time that they have a report of bullying or assault, they potentially lose funding. And this is why the school systems hide the reported incidents of bullying. And I think that is beyond ridiculous, because ironically, they're trying to protect the funds, but they're losing youth to dropping out, to suicide, and the grades are dropping. So their system is just proven to be very counterproductive.
And yes, it is. In fact, Dave, there's been schools that don't understand that the United States, as they look at it, that the school grades in reading and math and everything, a lot of it has dropped down, literally dropped. And the news reported that, you know. But does the news report, if you notice, Dave, on news lately, all they do is report the bad stuff.
Yep.
You know, they don't want to sit there and really report the good stuff. And that's not right. And they sit there and want to sit there and report the good stuff. They report the good stuff that they think that is good. But they don't report, like, how good that you do or anything. Or they don't report how good Bud does. You know what I mean? Or how good the Chevy and that Daniel show does. They don't want to report that kind of stuff. And how fair is that to the kids that need the help? Or how fair is that to the adults that need help? You know what I'm saying? Is that fair at all?
I've noticed that is an issue. However, what I've done is I've used social media to the best of my abilities. For example, this morning I had a friend of mine do a shout out for me on a radio station that has over 28,000 viewers per hour. So what I found is when you start making people a part of the movement, it benefits the movement greatly. That's why I started the hashtag BelieveInBU. And I have people sharing that everywhere. And what you got to do is you got to organize the support group to get bigger. For example, Amnesty International, which is the world's biggest non-profit organization, has 3.5 million followers. And they are literally saving people around the world. And they have no money or support from the government. They're all non-profit. And the reason why they're able to save people is to have the support of people around the world. For example, they saved the girl who was shot in the head twice in Pakistan. And she's now one of the world's best speakers, and she's living in England, and she's doing very well because of Amnesty's help. And that's what I'm driving myself to do with Bodyguards, and that is to build the support team, build all the fans, build everyone together. And the government and the school boards don't listen until voices are heard. And that's why the partnership that we have with you and Chevy and Haley and Deanna and Bud is important, because we're just building it bigger. And recently I've started mentoring Ayla's Army and helping them out with their children. And then I met 3 youths yesterday I'm mentoring and helping. And every day I'm meeting new youths and helping them out, and I just love it. Okay, it seems that we lost Edward again. We are approaching the last remaining minutes of the show, and I just wanted to say thank you to Edward for taking the time of his busy schedule to sit down and speak and to share his story and the inspiration behind to what he does. And you can contact Edward via Facebook at Edward James Hubbard. His Facebook group is Let's Stop Bullying Together -worldwide. He's also on Bodyguards United. He's also on Ayla's Army. You can contact him basically through those resources for sure. Like I say in every interview, I enjoy the support and the partnerships that I make with what I do, and realistically this is what I love to do. I spend daily talking to youths and families and researching internet and finding cases where youths are being reported or youths are being harmed, and it's a great feeling to help someone, to have them say thank you, to have them acknowledge your assistance. And the fight won't stop, because we all have children that we know, maybe cousins, nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers, children of our own. We know people who are getting bullied, and the Autopsy, what we intend to do is bring out stories that inspire people to understand that it's really happening everywhere, and it's happening at home, it's happening on the school grounds, it's happening on the internet. So once again, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching the Autopsy. Thank you for all the support for Bodyguards United. I love what I do. I love seeing the support. I love seeing all the individuals who are supporting us. And they keep doing it. Like, honestly, Bodyguards United is becoming a non-profit organization. We don't make any money at all. All the money that we make off our merchandise or off our events goes strictly to helping out youth. For example, it goes to helping me tour. I'm planning a United States tour in 2015. I'm planning a Iraq and Iran and India tour. I'm planning a North American tour. All the money that we make goes right strictly to that, and that's the best part about non-profit organizations is we don't make the money for our own personal self-growth. We do it to raise the self-awareness and the self-respect and confidence in our youth. So once again, thank you so much. Please join Bodyguards United at Facebook. Visit our website at bodyguardsunited.ca. Join and support Let's Stop Bullying Together. Join and support Ayla's Army. Join and support I'mBullyFree.org. There's so many groups out there that support our youth. Thank you for watching, and we will have another Autopsy tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock a.m.